Hi, my name is Mike Bernache, and this is an introduction to IBM Cognos Active Reports. Today we're going to talk about a few different things. First thing is I'm going to tell you a little bit about Lodestar Solutions, who we are and what we do. I'm going to talk a little bit about Active Reports in a PowerPoint presentation. Then I'm going to hop over and do a quick demo on a couple Active Reports that will just give you a little tease as to how they work and hopefully, makes you want to learn more about Active Reports and what they can do for you and your organization. So we're going to go ahead and begin. So Lodestar Solutions is a IBM Cognos Premier Reselling partner. What that means is we can provide competitive quotes on licenses and support renewals. We can also sell software for a typically lower price than if you went direct with IBM. That doesn't mean that we're in competition with IBM. It really is a true partnership. Typically, you will work with a Lodestar sales rep alongside your IBM sales rep. So we can also provide, as I said, competitive quotes on license support renewals. We have somebody dedicated who will review your current entitlement and verify that A, your bill is correct, and B, to make sure that you have the correct number of licenses for the number of users you have. It can also save you typically a lot of money. Lodestar is also a service provider. So we have a number of experienced consultants that are cross-trained on both TM1 and BI. So what that means is that you have somebody who can help understand and create the budgeting and planning model, and there isn't any rework necessary when you want to bring it into BI for consumption. We can also offer customized on-site training. We can deliver a standard training class that will use the IBM sample data, but we can also customize that to use your data and provide a better experience for you. Lodestar also hosts a number of IBM Cognos user groups in Chicago, Atlanta, Michigan, Florida, and also virtually. We also host a number of educational webinars like this one, networking sessions, and a number of other items. So a little bit about where Active Reports fit in the grand scheme of things with Cognos. As you can see here, at the top of the pyramid, administrators are typically your framework manager, your portal administrators, your security folks, people who are going to administer the product. Your professional authors are the folks who are going to use Report Studio and build beautiful reports for consumption throughout your organization. As you get down into the business needs, you have business and financial analysts who will use Business Insight or now Workspace Advanced in version 10.2. They're also going to utilize TM1. The business manager will use Business Insight as well. And when you get down to your casual employees and consumers, they're going to be the ones who just use the mobile or Office, also the Active Report. So there's kind of a broad range of capabilities depending on the area that you're in. So let's talk about Active Reports. Active Reports are interactive, intuitive standalone reports with the ability to be highly formatted. What this means is that you can create really, really nice reports that you can take with you offline and utilize all the functions that you typically use when you're connected to the Cognos server. Active Reports are generated in Report Studio. So those of you familiar with Report Studio will understand the sophisticated nature of what you can build. So they're done in Report Studio. You can develop them there. You can make very sophisticated reports. So they're really, really, really intuitive. They deliver a rich set of controls for the experienced professional report offer to build interactive dashboards for business. You will save this as an MHT, which allows for fast consumption and offline consumption. And you can also schedule and burst these like you would any other report. Some of the key benefits to Active Reports are improved time to decision through a more interactive and rich user experience. So you're an executive or a manager who's traveling and you're on an airplane, you can actually use these reports while not being connected to make decisions, so you're ready to go when you get off that plane and need to make a decision. Also have improved productivity, being able to work while physically being connected to the reporting application, as I just mentioned. So some of the business drivers for active reports. There is improved interactivity, so a new set of authoring controls for additional interactivity and visualization. There is improved performance and scalability. If the information is stored within the MHT file, with all the processing done within the browser and not on the BI server. As we mentioned, there's offline capability, and you can burst to a broad group of users. These are just a couple of samples of active reports, and we're going to get into the demo shortly, where I built a couple of very simple reports to just show you how it's built and how they work. So when you author active reports, as I said, you start with Report Studio. Those of you who use it are familiar with this opening screen that allows you to choose your package and also maybe select a list or a crosstab or a chart. So they're typically the ones you're going to work with. Well, there's a template on there called Active Reports, and when you connect to it, it will open up into basically a little bit different screen, but it contains all the related controls and variables that you need. You can also convert existing reports to active reports, but one warning, you can't convert them back. So once you're in an active report screen, there are a number of different active report controls and variables. And you can just show those by right-clicking in the toolbox area and showing just all the active reports once items. And I'll show you how this is done shortly. There's a connection and interaction button, as you'll see soon. And this is how you actually connect, say, a list report to a data button to control what is being shown as you click through the report. Again, this is the interactive behavior window. And what this is showing you is that there's a left side and a right side, and you can basically set what is seen by each item. Again, I'll show you that shortly. So let's hop over to the demo. So we will start by opening up Report Studio. And we're going to choose the Go Sales Analysis package. This is a standard demo data that comes with the Cognos product. And we're going to create a new one. And as you'll see here, it comes up with an active report template. You will notice that it opens a little bit different, looks a little bit different than a normal Report Studio report. It has a more specialized header and footer. Okay, from here we're going to start with a list. We're going to drag a list object over. Okay. And we're going to go to our source tab. We're going to go to the sales analysis namespace, and we're going to go to the sales staff dimension and into the sales staff hierarchy. And we're going to drag over country into our list. We're also going to move up and grab our revenue and margin and drag each of those in. Okay. From here, we're going to add a table just to the left of the list. We're going to uncheck the maximize width, and you'll see that we've added our table here. We're now going to just show the active report toolbox items by right-clicking in the toolbox, selecting that, and you'll see the number of different items that are just for active reports. For this, we're going to grab a data button bar. We're going to drag it to the left cell, and you'll see that it's come in with the interactive icon, and this is an item where you may drop the values and so on. I'll show you how that works now. We're going to go back to our source tab. We're going to go to the sales staff hierarchy again. And we are going to grab sales region and drag it here. You'll see that it's now filled that in with that information. Okay, next, we want to go ahead and create a connection between the sales staff region and the data button bar and the list report below. So we're going to click the interactive control. We're going to go ahead and create a new connection. And you'll see that it said, here's the source of a data button bar using sales region, and the target is the list. Because we only have 2 objects in the report, they come up listed correctly. If you had a number of objects, you'd be able to point this to what you want this button bar to target. But for now, we're going to keep it at list. We're going to change this to filter. Okay? It's going to move this data item down to the list, but it's going to hide it, so you will not see it. We're going to name this the sales region. We're going to go ahead and hit connect. If I run this quickly, you'll see that it's come up with all the data and the different regions that are in this hierarchy. If we select Americas, it will filter down based on the country. You don't see the region listed here, but it's hidden and it's behind there, which allows that to filter down. You could select Asia Pacific, Northern European, Central European, and so on. Okay. You'll see here, here's the sales region, and it's hidden. You can see that something is connected to this because this has now gone from yellow to green. Okay. Now we're going to add another filter to this. We're going to use the order type. We're going to go to order method hierarchy. We're going to grab the order method type. And we're going to drag this in to our list report. We're going to go back and we're going to bring in a button bar. The difference being, this was a data button bar, so we drug data from the source tab into that bar. Okay? This is just a data bar or a button bar, so you can't link data to it. This is where you're going to hand type and use static data. So from here, I'm going to, remember we're using order type. And what we're going to do is basically set up a label and a value. So this will show the label, whatever we type here, and it'll use whatever value is in the database. So I'm going to go ahead and add a new data item and call it value. Okay. I know I have 7 values, so I'm going to go ahead and add a few of these. And now I'm going to start labeling them. So I'm going to label this one email. And the data I'm using is actually e-mail with a lowercase m. Very important to make sure that you type it in correctly to match what is in your data. If you do not, it will not work properly. Okay, the next one is facts. This will be post office and mail. Sales rep relates to sales visits. Promo relates to special. Phone is telephone. And website relates to web. And now we're going to go ahead and hit OK. And you'll see that all the labels we put in are up here. Okay. We now need to create the connection between this and the list report. So we're going to go ahead next to the button bar and click the interactive behavior. We're going to create a new connection. And we're going to keep the source as the button bar. Okay. And we want to use the value, because that is the data. We want it to control the list. And we're going to use the order method type. Okay. We want this to filter. We're going to go ahead and name this variable the order type. And hit OK. So now if we run this, see that we could filter down on the Americas, and we could filter down on fax, or sales rep, or email, or phone, however you wanted to look at it. Now you can see that this just all runs together. It doesn't look real pretty. We can do a few things to change that. So a number of things that you can do are, you can change the orientation on this to vertical. If you right click on it, you can convert the control to a checkbox group. Okay. Now if we were to run this, you see you're still able to filter down, but now I could check a few of them and get everything that relates to that. Another thing you could do is go to the active report variables, and you could actually set defaults as to what you want to always be shown first. So for instance, we could choose Americas, and we could choose email. Okay, so if we run it now, it will always start off with the Americas and email data. You can certainly change it, but this way it doesn't start off with all the data. One last thing on this report is to make it an actual active report. You go up to this Run button, and what you do is download the active report. And what it's going to do is ask you for a place to save it, and I've already done that. And what it will do is, wherever you have saved it, okay, you'll notice that I'm on the local disk, so I'm no longer using Cognos itself to view this. You can email this or send it to anybody you wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and open it from here and show you that you don't have to be connected for it to work. You'll see I'm on the C drive. I'm using the MHT report. All the information and coding is stored behind it, so you don't have to be connected to Cognos. I could take this with me. There's a great iPad app, so for those of you who have an iPad, there's an IBM Cognos app that has active report samples on it. I recommend downloading it. It's free, and taking a look at it. It's really, really cool, and it really can show you what really can be done on this. Okay, so there was one quick example. I'm going to do one more for you. And this is just going to be kind of summarizing a list, showing you that there's a couple things to do when we get to that. So let's start with a blank active report. Okay. And I'm going to, again, drag a list item to the active report. Okay. I'm going to now drag a drop-down list, a data drop-down list, pardon me. So go after this, so it'll show up on top. I'm going to go over to the source tab, go to my products dimension, grab my product hierarchy, and I'm going to bring in product line to the list. And I'm going to bring in revenue and quantity. Okay. I'm going to go back to products, and I'm going to bring product line up to the drop-down list as well. I'm going to go ahead and connect these. Drop-down list to the list using product line. Okay, we want it to filter. We're going to rename it. Hit connect. Hit OK. And I'm going to sum these up. So here are the different choices. You'll notice that when I change it, the summary is always the same. To fix that, let's go ahead and delete out our totals. Let's highlight revenue and quantity again. But this time, let's choose the summarize and output total. And let's show you that it does indeed now change with the total. Okay. Same things would work here. You could change these and convert them to different items. You could change colors and backgrounds and all that good stuff. From here, again, to save it, you would download the active report and you could send it to somebody. As I said, these are both very simple examples, but it just shows you the basics of how you build an active report. You start with your data, you bring in a control, and you link the controls. So you can create a report that will be active whether you're online or off. This concludes both of the demos, and if this is a scheduled webinar, we will now open it up for questions. Thank you.